Ask Tom on Home Show.
Eric from Spring has a question about a water softener.
Well, he's a long-time listener, Tom, but he says a first-time reacher-outer because he's not calling. But they've just moved into a house.
Well, this is good.
Well, they've just moved into a house in Spring, and he says, we're wanting to install a water softener rather, but do not know where to start. Ideally, we'd like to have that thing put in right here, which is their laundry room. And by the way, he said, I didn't put this in the question, but they just moved in. Pardon the mess. I think his wife made him say that. But anyway, they want to put it here in their utility room, but they're not sure if there are any added costs or if it's even feasible to do that. You've helped us out over the years, so mega thank yous for that. What's your advice for Eric on this one, Tom?
My advice is don't put it inside your home like that. You can. I'm not going to say tell you it's impossible to do. I have a feeling you're going to have issues with plumbing. You have to run a drain to it because it has to regenerate and drain out. But you know why I don't want it in there? Because of the salt. Water softeners have salt. And when you put salt inside an area like that, you're breathing what the salt is, the outgassing of the salt. It also will start doing damage. You'll find your washer and dryer that are sitting right next to that space where a freezer is supposed to go, that taller space where the cabinets are. I assume that's where you want to put the water softener. It's just going to start rusting away the casing of your washing machine and your dryer. And if it's that corrosive, it probably isn't something you want to be breathing. It's kind of like leaving chlorine tablets in a garage. It does the same thing, or really strong fertilizers. Many of these things are not meant to be inside the area where you're living and where it's all air conditioned. So I would recommend you don't do that. Most of the water softeners go on the outside. You have a line of water line that feeds the house coming from the outside to some corner of your house. And usually you put it somewhere on the outside of the home so you can run the water line to it, put a bypass on there if you need it, and then run it back to where it feeds the whole house again. That's the easiest thing to do, and I think most companies would probably recommend that. And that way the salt tank is outside too, or they call it the brine tank, and you don't have to worry about the salt dust and everything when you're dumping it out and putting it in. We have a wonderful, and I love this. I hate to use the word love. I only use that.
Be a lover, Tom. No, be a lover, Tom.
No,
go ahead.
Not when it comes to water softeners, but I really like the Kinetico water softening system I have now. And I've had a bunch of them in my life, and this is the cream of the crop. You can get it from the people at Aquatex. Talk to them. At least put them on your list as making that initial conversation. And that uses so little salt, and it does such a great job. I've just been really, really impressed with it, and I miss it when I'm not at my main house in Houston where I have it. So I would recommend you talk to them. And because it goes outside, their whole their tank system is meant to be underwater if it had to be. It would actually work underneath the ocean, top of the ocean or whatever, and they actually will they go to home shows and put it in a giant fish tank to show you that it is watertight, so you can leave it outside, not a problem.
It's handy on the west side of Houston. So
in some cases it
was a couple of years ago anyway.
Yes.
But yeah. Well, in fact,
that's kind of silly they do that, but I just want to make you feel comfortable. It's okay outside.
Well, and if you live near Lake Livingston, it's also good to know it can go underwater. But the other piece of this, Tom, is that thing has to drain too. When it does the regeneration, it also drains.
So you have to drain it into the drain system. It has a P-trap. It's all going to be set up for it. In some cases, you can put it out to the street. They did with, at least mine has. It goes out to the drainage out there, but it has to drain somewhere. And you don't want to drain it into a flower bed or somewhere where you're growing things because it's just got too much concentration of all kinds of stuff in that drain line. So it has to go somewhere where it's controlled and not hurting stuff, like plants and things like that, or into the ground itself.
Yeah, it's all organic stuff. It's not like it's a bad chemical.
It is organic, and you can put it in septic
plants.
Systems and things. Yeah, you don't want to dump it on a plant or something like that.
Right.
And like you do like a reverse osmosis, I used to dump the drain water out the wall into my garden. That was great, even though I wouldn't drink it. The plants loved it. But with a water softener, it's different.
All right. You got a question? Tom would love to help you out. You go ahead and visit HomeShowRadio.com. And right there in the middle of our homepage, there's a button there, Ask Tom. Click on that. It'll take you to this page where you can either send us a question or a video, fill out all the information, send us as much detail as you can. And, of course, send a picture because it helps us, like it helped us understand what Eric was up against. And we can help you because we post a new one of these every day at HomeShowRadio.com, our Facebook page, of course, our YouTube channel.